It is 2 minutes past 10 and this is KBC English Service. Time for Science is Life. And today the program features Dr. Bathsheba Kerubo Menge, a lecturer at the Technical University of Mombasa. She is also a holder of a PhD in mathematics. She talks about her life, what she thinks about sleeps and dreams.
Welcome to Science is Life on KBC English Service. Every week, our mentors discuss their experiences and lessons in understanding science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, also known as STEM. Remember, our mentor today will be available to answer your questions at the end of the program. So call 0725 281 428 or 0736 538 431. SMS number 40291. Science is Life is brought to you by Ministry of Education in partnership with UNESCO, the National Commission for Science, Technology and Innovation, NACOSI, the Kenya National Commission for UNESCO, together with Safaricom.
Hello and welcome to the program Science is Life here on KBC English Service. My name is Dr. Bathsheba Kerubo Menge. I hold a PhD in Applied Mathematics in Computational Fluid Dynamics, and I am a lecturer in the Department of Mathematics and Physics at the Technical University of Mombasa. For the next half hour, I will be speaking to you on the topic appreciating the role of mathematics in our life. Historically, mathematics has been stereotyped as a male domain, and this has created a gender gap. You may have heard comments like, mathematics is for boys, not girls. Mathematics is boring or complicated. I hate mathematics. It is a useless subject that serves no immediate purpose. When am I ever going to use mathematics? And many others. You may not know it, but mathematics is all around you. You might not recognize it, but it is always there. You use math and see mathematics every day. So, what is mathematics? Mathematics is much more than a set of problems in a textbook, as most of the students may view it. It is a science that deals with the study of numbers, quantities, shapes, and their relationship. It therefore forms the building block for everything in our daily life. The truth is that we use mathematics all the time. The underlying skills developed in a mathematics classroom resonate throughout a student's lifetime and often resurface to help solve various real-world or work-related problems, sometimes even years down the line. Mathematics is all around us in our environment, right from the classroom to the home and even in nature. It is important in daily tasks as setting up an alarm clock for waking up in the morning, managing money, whether you are spending, saving, borrowing, or investing, preparing food, shopping, figuring out distance, time and cost of travel, in sports, construction, when you are working from home to school or from your dormitory to class, when you are paying your school fees, in the school calendar. It is important in farming, when you are eating. For example, you have to know the amount of sugar that you put in your tea or the salt in your food, when you are paying bills, talking on the cell phone, taking a bath, and many other areas. What I am simply saying is that whether you are dealing with the natural science, the social science, engineering and technology, or the humanities, mathematics is involved in one way or the other. Unlike Kiswahili, English, French, or other languages, mathematics is understood the same virtually all over the world. A mathematics equation doesn't need to be translated to another language to be understood by someone on the other side of the planet. A mathematical law doesn't change because someone has a different religion than you or speaks a different language from you. 2 plus 2 is equal to 4 in every single place on the planet Earth. That is to say that mathematics is a universal language, and this makes it such a powerful tool and indeed an essential life skill. Why is mathematics then considered to be so hard? I believe mathematics seems difficult because it takes time and energy. Many students don't give sufficient time to do mathematics questions, and they fall behind as the teacher moves on. They move on to study more complex concepts with a shaky foundation, and the result is we end up with a weak structure that is doomed to collapse at some point. Today, I want us to look at some real-life applications of mathematics, and I will start with numbers. Numbers are as important to us as the alphabet. We use numbers every day in our communication. For example, when we are chatting on the cell phones, we use numbers for data safety. We put passwords and PIN numbers on our phones, ATM, M-Pesa, and mobile banking. We record events. For example, we talk about your birthday in terms of the day, month, and the year. We are able to tell time and carry out various types of measurement, like the height, the weight, or even when we are taking medicine. Patterns. Patterns exist when a set of numbers, colors, shape, or sound are repeated over and over again. For example, in primary school, you are told to fill in the next numbers. In secondary, you deal with arithmetic progression and geometric progression, where you are given a sequence of numbers and asked to find the next term. In nature, patterns are found everywhere, in construction materials, ranging from the roofing tiles to the floor tiles. They are found in nature in insects, plants, and animals. Symmetry. Symmetry is a line that divides an object into 2 or more equal parts. The line can be vertical, diagonal, or horizontal. Symmetry is found in nature, in plants, leaves, flowers, fruits. It is found in the bodies and faces of animals and other living things. I want you to turn around and look at your neighbor. How many lines of symmetry can you see? Symmetry is found in man-made things, like different types of architecture, wooden sculptures, soapstone carvings. Even our national flag has got some symmetry in it. I want you to identify different man-made features in your home and find out the lines of symmetry that are there. Measurement. Precise measurements are necessary when we are constructing houses and other buildings. Plumbers use measurement to determine the length and the circumference of the pipes that they use. In vehicles, we determine the speed or even measure the tire pressure using measurement. Measurement is used in shops to weigh commodities. When we are cooking, we use measurements to weigh out ingredients. Whether you are preparing tea, you have to know the ratio of milk to water. Cooking ugali, making chapatis, cooking rice, or even maize and beans. Measurement plays an important role in hospitals, and I believe we have all been to the hospitals. It is used to measure the temperature, height, weight, blood pressure, sugar levels, even when taking oral medications. During this pandemic of COVID-19, when you go to public places, your temperature is measured, whether you are going to the supermarket, to the church, or the bank. Farmers use measurement in planting and spacing their crops. Time. Time is a very valuable asset to us, and it is measured using the clocks, calendars, watches, and so on. It plays a very important role in our daily routine, right from the class timetables, exam timetables, meal times, and others. You are able to determine how long you talk on the phone or how long you take before a meal is ready, and so on. When you are traveling, time is important in scheduling arrival and departure times, whether you are traveling by road, by rail, or by air. Estimation. Estimation is an approximation of any given quantity. Contractors use it to estimate the project costs. When you are shopping and trying to stay within a budget, you have to have an estimate of the amount that you need to spend. Students have to estimate the shopping that will last them one term. Event planners and caterers have to have an estimate of the number of people in a particular event for them to be able to set up chairs and tents or prepare food for the function. Recently, we had our census, and that gave us the estimate of the number of the population of the country. This is important for planning of the resources. Commercial arithmetic. Money. Money, or the currency that we use, is a form of measurement that helps you with your finances when you are shopping, traveling, paying bills, investing, or saving. Farmers and traders use money when they are pricing their goods to determine profit and loss and to give back the exact change. When you are eating at the restaurant, you have to know the cost of the food that you've ordered, and you have to know how to get the right change back. Geometry. Geometry is concerned with characteristics of figures and shapes, and it has many practical uses in measuring circumference, area, and volume. We have different geometric patterns in form of squares, rectangles, triangles, and circles on our windows, doors, beds, chairs, tables, TV, and so on. We can see geometry in our fruits and vegetables. For example, the orange is spherical in nature. The bees are a good example of geometry, and they are referred to as the masters of geometry because they use hexagons to build their honeycombs. If you look at the two sides of the road, they are always parallel to one another. In geometry, we talk about parallel lines and perpendicular lines. If you look at the exercise books that you use, whether single-lined or squared, they have some form of parallel lines. The chalkboard and the wall form parallel lines when we consider that to be a plane within a plane. We can see perpendicular lines on adjacent walls in the rooms where we are seated. Angles can be found on the hands of a clock, on the clothes hangers that we use, on the staircase, and on the roof. Athletic fields employ geometry. For example, soccer, hockey, or football fields are all rectangular, and the track fields are semicircular in nature. In medicine, the X-rays, ultrasounds, MRIs, and physiotherapy all are based on geometry. The Global Positioning System, or GPS, employs coordinates to provide precise information about the location and time. Therefore, it can be able to calculate the distance between any two places. Drivers everywhere use the GPS to help them get from point A to point B. In navigation, the ships, watercraft, and aircraft utilize angles and depend on other mathematical concepts for carrying out basic operations. Fractions, decimals, and percentages. These proportions are important in our everyday life. For example, when we are cooking, we can be able to determine how much of an ingredient to use. We are able to tell time. For example, we talk about 1:30 or 1:45. Each minute is a fraction of the hour. When you are at home and you want to divide an orange into equal parts, or when you are slicing a piece of cake or bread for your siblings, you have to have a concept of fractions. The scores or the marks that we get when we do continuous assessment tests or exams are given in fraction form. They can also be considered as percentages when the denominator is 100. Percentages are also used to give discounts in shops or to determine the rates of inflation. Probability. Probability is the likelihood that something will occur, and it is used to make decisions when we don't know what the outcome will be. I want you to look up at the sky and tell me whether it will rain today. That is probability. So probability can be used to predict the weather. It can determine the likelihood of success among competitors or even politicians to know who will win the race. It can be used in research to determine a cure for a certain disease like the COVID-19, and you can use it when you are playing cards or video games to determine the winner. From these few examples, we see that the laws of mathematics govern everything around us, and without a good understanding of them, one can encounter significant challenges in life. You are listening to Science is Life here on KBC English Service. I am Dr. Bathsheba Kerubo Menge, and today we are discussing the role of mathematics in our lives. I will be available to answer your questions at the end of the presentation, so stay tuned. Meanwhile, let's take a short break.
You're listening to Science is Life on KBC English Service. Remember, our mentor today will be available to answer your questions at the end of the program. So call 0725 281 428 or 0736 538 431. SMS number 40291. Now, let's get back to today's presentation.
Careers where mathematics is involved include engineering, and we have very many forms of engineering, from structural, electrical, electronics, mechanical, civil engineering, architectural engineering, geospatial, and many other forms. You can be a computer scientist in aided design, programming, graphics, animations, and medical diagnostics. You can be a researcher, and there are many forms of research areas. For example, in medicine and pharmacology, you can use probability and statistics to determine the effectiveness of new drugs or medical procedures before they are approved. So you can do mathematical modeling of the spread of epidemics, for example, the coronavirus disease or COVID-19, and determine the success rates of treatment. In medicine, you can be a doctor or a nurse. You can be an economist, a banker, financial planner, a teacher, statistician, operation research analyst. You can do robotics, which combines mathematics, engineering, and computer science. You can be an actuary and financial mathematician, statistical consultant, data analyst, regional planner, surveyor, and you can even be an artist, and many, many more careers. Mathematics is taught, but we must do a lot of practice to be able to understand it. The only way to learn mathematics is by doing it. We'll take a few examples and see how we can think and work out the problems. I'll start with algebra. Whenever you come across a math problem, you have to use algebra to solve it. Let's take this example. Think of any number, double the number, add 10, divide by 2, subtract 3. What is the number? From your answer, I can be able to tell you what the original number was using this procedure. Let the number be x. Doubling the number and adding 10 gives us 2x plus 10. When you divide that by 2, you get x plus 5. Subtract 3, that gives you x plus 2. So whatever answer you obtain, you are going to equate that to x plus 2. For example, if your answer was 10, then 10 will be equal to x plus 2. You make x the subject, and the value of x will be 8. Logical thinking. There are 6 glasses in a row. The first 3 with water, and the next 3 are empty. Can you arrange in such a way that it could be alternative? That is, the first with water, next empty, and so on. You are allowed to touch and move only one glass. How is that possible? Well, for you to be able to get that arrangement and to fulfill the condition that is given, you take the second glass, which has got water, and empty that into the second last glass and put it back in its original position. That way, you will get the required pattern. Comprehending. I want you to give me the value of this 3 plus 3 times 3 minus 3 plus 3. What is it equal to? For you to be able to work out this question, you use BODMAS. BODMAS stands for brackets of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So because we do not have division, we start with the multiplication. So that will give us 3 plus 9 minus 3 plus 3, and that will be equal to 12. Mathematics is fun. We can look for ways of multiplying numbers without using a calculator. For example, when we are multiplying by 11, if you are multiplying a 1-digit number, the answer should be a 2-digit number. Multiplying a 2-digit number by 11 gets a 3-digit number, and so on. So let's take 17 times 11. To multiply that, you write the first and the last digit, that is 1 and 7. So the middle digit will be obtained by adding 1 plus 7 to give us 187. Next, 123 times 11. This is a 3-digit number, so the answer must be the 4-digit number. So you write the first and last digits, that is 1 and 3. So for the second digit, you are going to add 1 to 2 to give us 3, and 2 plus 3 to give us 5. That will be our next digit. So the answer to that will be 1,353. What about 78 times 11? Here, we have the answer being a 3-digit number. The first digit is 7 and the last is 8. To get the middle digit, we take 7 plus 8 to give us 15. So you don't write 15, but you write 5 and carry 1, which you will add to 7 to give you 858. I want you to try out examples on your own. As you can see, our lives revolve around mathematics. Mathematics isn't something that you watch and memorize, but something that you do. It is not about numbers, equations, computations, or algorithms, but it is about understanding. Memorizing mathematics can be dangerous because it causes you to learn it without understanding. The goal for learning mathematics should not be to merely pass a test. You need to break your understanding free of the textbook examples and apply it to real-world situations. You can excel in mathematics irrespective of whether you are a boy or a girl. All you need is to have a positive attitude and enjoy looking for solutions to problems. Mathematics gives us hope that every problem has a solution. Therefore, make mathematics part of your life. I will end with this quote from a famous African-American mathematics by the name Katherine Johnson, who says that we will always have STEM with us. Some things will drop out of the public eye and go away, but there will always be science, engineering, and technology, and there will always be mathematics. Thank you for listening to Science is Live on KBC English Service. Today I was sharing with you how we can appreciate the role of mathematics in our lives. I hope you have benefited from this presentation. I am Dr. Bathsheba Kerubo Menge. I hold a PhD in Applied Mathematics, Computational Fluid Dynamics, and I am a lecturer in the Department of Mathematics and Physics at the Technical University of Mombasa. I'll answer some of your questions on this presentation in a few minutes' time, so stay tuned.
Science is Life, brought to you by Ministry of Education in partnership with UNESCO, the National Commission for Science, Technology and Innovation, NACOSTI, the Kenya National Commission for UNESCO, together with Safaricom. Shortly, our mentor will respond to your questions and comments on phone number 0725 281 428 or 0736 538 431 and SMS number 40291.
Okay, that's the program there, and also on the line we are joined by Dr. Bathsheba Kerubo Menge, a lecturer at the Technical University of Mombasa. She also holds a PhD in mathematics. Dr. Menge, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, how is Mombasa?
Mombasa is okay. It's a bit windy, but we are managing.
Okay, let's go straight to the first question.
My name is Lindsay Mora. I'm studying at Makini School, and I am currently in Form 2. What courses do I take, and what career paths can I take in maths and biology and physics, and how have you got through them? My last question is, what advice would you give a young girl like me who wants to pursue a career in science?
Mora there, her questions are actually two-pronged. One is advice on what she should pursue in the line of science. She wants to know what courses to take to pursue a career in STEM.
Now, the subject that she can do to pursue a career in science will involve mathematics, biology, chemistry, and physics. But we do not also leave out the languages because they are important. And those are the same subjects that she requires to do if she has to do any career in STEM, because it will lead to engineering, medicine, or any of those fields.
You mentioned...
So she has to do something, but mathematics should not be left out.
Okay, you mentioned that languages are important. Why?
Because the mode of communication is English. We have to communicate to a student, and there is no way that you can communicate if they don't understand English or Kiswahili.
Okay, we move to the second caller. She is called Sharon from Gala Memorial in Malindi.
My name is Sharon Riziki Alfred. I'm learning at Gala Memorial Girls. I'm in Form 2 North. I would like to ask you that what things did you consider in your mind that made you to excel in mathematics and the sciences? And also, what challenges did you undergo when you were still a student, and how did you overcome them?
Okay, Sharon there has two questions. The first one is, what factors did you consider to make you excel in science?
First of all, you must have a passion for that, the sciences, and you must know what you are aiming at. What do you want to be in future? So after you have that in mind, then you have to put effort and energy to work towards achieving what you want. So it starts with a dream. What could you like to be? So how do you get there? So that becomes the driving force behind that.
Did you have any challenges when studying mathematics?
Well, when you're studying mathematics, of course, there are challenges once in a while. Sometimes you work out a problem and you don't get the answer. But you have to keep on trying, because you realize that there are many ways you can approach a question without necessarily following what the teacher taught you. So even as teachers, they learn during that process that you can arrive at an answer but using a different approach. So that is one of the challenges. And another challenge is like when you are in college and the class is made up of more men than ladies, sometimes you can feel like you are being intimidated. But when you put in your effort to realize that you can even do better than the men.
Okay, there's a question from Mwalimu Kimiti Muriu. He asks, why do we have so many students who perform well in primary, but when they get to the high school, mathematics becomes a problem?
Now, the challenge that I can say is there when students get to high school is because now when they get to high school, there's that stereotype. So they are made to believe by those who are maybe in Form 2 or 3 that mathematics is not for them to do. But it is a male-dominated field, so they cannot do it. So mainly, that attitude that they have developed or they get from those who are in higher grades than them is what makes them to give up saying mathematics is not for them. That is one of the challenges that are there. Another challenge can be the way the teacher approaches the questions or the way the teacher presents themselves. Some teachers will come and give a negative opinion about the subject, say you are a failure in math. So maybe some of those comments sometimes may lead to a student, especially a weak student, giving up on the subject. Okay,
thank you so much, Dr. Bathsheba Kerubo, for talking to us this morning about mathematics. But before I let you go, I have one question here from Scientist Karanja. He's asking, is it normal for anyone to hate mathematics?
Yes, some students hate mathematics just because of what they have been told by their peers. They have been made to believe that the subject is difficult, that it is hard, and that they are not going to use it in future. So unless a student is made to understand that maths is with us, regardless of what career you choose, then they are bound to give up because they lack that knowledge that it is something that we use and apply every day in whichever field.
Okay, I used to have friends who play around and say, why will you use calculus?
Yes.
What do you say?
We use it all the time. When we are finding the averages, it is there in our everyday life. So you have to get to understand that in life, in whichever situation that you may be, you are going to use it in one way or the other. When you are finding the limit of a given function, when you are finding the difference, the rate of change, you can get the rate of change in any area of your life.
Okay.
So it is applicable.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Bathsheba Kerubo Menge, for speaking to us this morning.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, that has been Dr. Bathsheba Kerubo Menge, a lecturer at the Technical University of Mombasa, and also she holds a PhD in mathematics. This morning, our conversation was about appreciating mathematics in our lives and how you can relate all those complicated formulas with real-life situations. The program, Science is Life, has been brought to you by the Ministry of Education in partnership with UNESCO, the National Commission for Science, Technology, Innovation, NACOSTI, the Kenya National Commission for UNESCO, together together with Safaricom. In case you have any questions or comments, remember you can post them on our Facebook fan page, that is KBC English Service. You can find us on Twitter. Our handle is KBC English. Remember, you can SMS. The number is 40291. 40291. Science is Life is brought to you by the Ministry of Education in partnership with UNESCO, the National Commission for Science, Technology and Innovation, ACOSTI, the Kenya National Commission for UNESCO, together with Safaricom. Thank you so much for listening to the program this morning. Till next week, it's bye-bye.